Well, everybody, the wait is over. The third best region on the entire planet kicks off the 2019 Spring Split. The LCK is back. Eric and Mark here with you guys for League Unlock. And you think they'll be third best yet again this year?
I don't know if they're going to be third best yet again, but I tell you what.
Fourth best. Right?
Even if it's the third best, fourth best region, whatever you want to say, it is the #1 region for the venue that they're going to be playing in. Riot, Lowell Park right there. We're getting started there to kick off the year, and it is a beautiful place to be.
No more OGN. It's all Riot run here in 2019 for Korea. And what better way to start than with SKT? Don't make people wait. This is the roster everybody wants to see, and there's going to be a whole lot of revenge games here in the Spring Split in Korea. And the very first one is exactly that. It's Teddy versus his former team in Jin Air. Maybe not the biggest revenge game because he was the only good player on that roster. But look at that SKT lineup. First game, what do we want to do? Let's put Faker on Urgot.
Yeah, okay. We got the Faker on Urgot, but you do have to mention you get Clid on the Lee Sin. Want to see more of that later. But early in this game, it was let's get ahead camping on the Con here, and it's Jin Air picking up the very first blood of 2019 LCK, barely with the ticks off of the hell of Con there in the top side.
Yeah, that's a great start for Jin Air. It was Malrang putting in the work on Xin, and then they're fighting over the dragon. Get used to seeing a whole lot of Galio, by the way, for this meta, because it's just a stable pick in the mid lane for pretty much any matchup. Still running the Summoner Spellbook on Urgot, and this is where you see Clid start to pop off and land every single Q. Actually, that's not the play I like.
Yeah, you're getting a little ahead of yourself there, Eric, because first, it's again Con getting caught a little bit too far forward, and it just takes
1v1 by a Scion?
It's that one charge from the Scion, and he's able to take him out. But here, watch Clid. Keep an eye on the Lee Sin in this one, because this is exactly why he was picked up for SKT.
Another solid flank with the Scion ulti there, but then he just gets caught out. He's 1v4, he's got a flash out, but SKT are thirsty for more. The chase goes on two different fronts. Con is cleaning up on the bottom side, and Clid barely stays alive and is just hovering, waiting to land a Q, and look at how low the Kaisa is.
Oh boy, you see that ward, you know what's coming.
It's a pink ward, you know, I'm going all in for this one, lands the Q, and then pop the Zhonya's. It's not quite the golden Q.
That's gotta be it, right? Oh wait a minute.
Teddy!
No way!
Oh no. He waited to give Teddy the kill, but he couldn't come through with the True Shot Barrage. There was one more big team fight that SKT won, but that extended fight is what you're used to seeing from them, just completely take over a game there. Clid's Lee Sin on point. Con, a little bit questionable in that top lane, but nonetheless, SKT go 1-0 up, and then they say, look, we'll pick up Rise for Faker. Just kidding. Again, going to Con, you don't get your coveted pick. You're going Urgot again, and it's again Jin Air picking on Con in that top lane.
This had to have been the game plan right away for Jin Air, is to get on to Con and get him down.
3 people coming up.
Oh boy, we're investing a lot of resources into this, but as you know, can't cancel those teleports anymore, so you're locked in here, and again, here comes Faker, and he is ready to pick up the return kill.
Yeah, they both dodged the Scion knock-up there in Clid and Faker, so get the trade. I guess that's kind of worth because there were so many resources there for Jin Air. And then the 3v3 in the bottom lane. Didn't see much action here in the first game, but Teddy saved by Mata and flashes out. They're going to grab a couple of kills there. SKT bot lane putting in work.
You're always going to get that kill there. Mata, the safety, of course, with the Tom Kench picking him up. Going to see, a lot more of that.
Yeah, they've already shown they have pretty decent synergy there, but in the mid lane, Jin Air finally find a favorable team fight. They're going to go all in to secure and lock up Faker, and then they catch out Teddy as well. 2 kills for them in the mid lane, and all of a sudden, skill weighs in the favor of Jin Air.
Jin Air find that advantage, but they also take too long to reset from that advantage in that fight, because SKT jump right on the Baron, and thanks to that quick ult there from Con, get out with most members having that buff.
Yeah, even though they lost that team fight, SKT were just getting advantages in CS and turrets, and then Teddy is completely annihilating everyone on the minigun turret that is Varus in the late game. SKT, they not really sneak a Baron. I mean, they knew they were doing it. They just were too late to turn around. Teddy finally comes online, and SKT 2-0 sweep in their first series with the new roster. Teddy gets a little bit of revenge against his old team.
Yeah, Teddy wanting to get the good start here to pick off the year, and absolutely does so. And hey, even better for him is he gets to shine here in Game 2, picking up the game-winning kills, ending it there. You know, the Galio goes in for the Justice Punch, but the problem is Kai'Sa and Rakan were already blown up by Teddy. Game over. SKT, they take care of business on opening day.
And Mata was spamming the emote there. You know, he was having a bit of fun saying, well, this roster's pretty good and I'm excited for it. One thing of note in that game, by the way, an 0-2-0 Rise that was actually down in CS had a bounty of over 700 gold. How does that happen?
Yeah,
Explain that to me.
This is exactly the example that you needed. Riot Games, you are blind if you are not paying attention that these bounty systems need some reworking. I thought I understood it for the most part, and then you start seeing things like this, and it is way too out of hand here. This guy, he's been camped the whole game, and he's behind his lane partner in CS, things like that, but he's got a bounty of over 1,000. How is that even possible? Riot, fix your game.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that change, because it needs to be changed, because it is absolutely ridiculous. Second set of games in the LCK, you had Damwon Gaming taking on Gen.G. Obviously, Damwon, the new Griffin for 2019, the most hyped up squad of rookies coming in, even though they're not fully rookies, just like Griffin was, because they got Nuclear, who's played in the LCK and played in EU before, but still a lot of hype around this team, and new look Gen.G with Peanut on the roster, and you'd expect when Peanut comes into the Gen.G lineup, you're saying, all right, let's see a whole bunch of carry matchups in the jungle, but game one, not the case. It's actually Canyon who got the start, and he's playing Kha'Zix. Peanut, you go play some Sejuani, and we got the Cassiopeia in the bottom lane. Shoutouts to Viper.
Oh yeah, we've been seeing that one come through and seeing the power of the Cassiopeia down there, and it's not happening early though, because the power is coming straight from that Vel'Koz beam.
Yeah, life on the Vel'Koz support, something you're not seeing very often. Sion mid for Fly, but Canyon in the early game doing some absolutely disgusting damage on Kha'Zix this early. That looks like late game damage that he's pumping out with the Morgana shield. Give him all the shields to clean up some of these fights.
It had actually been a little bit of time since we had seen Kha'Zix be really strong and powerful in the meta, and I'm kind of starting to think I don't need to see it anymore. That damage is disgusting from that bug there, helping Damwon Gaming find these early advantages.
Yeah, it's kind of like old Rengar, where you basically get 3-shot before you even know what hit you. See, he just walks by invisible. The poor Vel'Koz support. What are you supposed to do against that? You're dead. It doesn't matter.
Game over. Damwon Gaming picking it off, starting off these team fights. This was a great game from them front to back. It stalled out a little bit here and towards the mid part, but Damwon Gaming really did show for the most part.
Showmaker, 1v3 zoning out of the Baron.
Exactly. Once you got to this part, there's not much you could do because, hey, we can zone you out no problem.
Yeah, I mean, great zoning out of him from there. And again, Canyon played an incredible early game. We were wondering when we'd see him, if Punch would start some of the games, but Canyon right in here for game one, and he looks absolutely incredible.
He's certainly showing that he deserved this start right away. That absolute hunger that he had here to pick off some of these members of Gen.G was fantastic in this one. Played a vital role in the advantages that Damwon Gaming was able to get and able to keep pushing them forward.
12-2 in kills, pretty convincing win. Damwon take game one against Gen.G. So we roll into game two, where no Cassiopeia this time. We've got the Vladimir up top for Naguri. That's one of his staple pocket picks, and life on the Leona. He had a tough game in the first one on that Vel'Koz support. Doesn't get easier here in game two. Pretty late first blood, but he does go down.
Right away in the early part, they're getting him there. That's exactly what Damwon Gaming wants to do. Get that bot lane ahead there in that matchup, and then it's right back up to the top side there. And oh boy, that's a lot of damage coming out real fast.
Yeah. More damage for Canyon. He's not on Kha'Zix this time. He goes with the Talia, but still outputting some insane damage. Peanut going for the bait on the Sejuani. Turnaround, they blow up the Vladimir. Ends up being a trade kill here. But again, second straight game on Sejuani for Peanut. That's a nice wall from Canyon to isolate Gen.G, and no one can get over. You can't dash over as the victor, so he's just left to watch this fight and watch the Vladimir completely destroy everyone.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. That's what a Hemomancer will do to you. And ladies and gentlemen, you get that right. It's a hemomancer. Vlad ain't no vampire. He a hemomancer.
I can't wait for a movie about a hemomancer. Nuclear with the clean flash over Cuvée to clean that fight up, and no one's going to be able to chase him down. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, staying alive there. That is the full-on 10 out of 10 performance there. Good work.
Nuclear looking, again, people will say this is the same guy that was on H2K. Yes, he's a lot better when everyone on his team speaks the same language and he has a more solid support with him than Che. No offense to Che, but Damwon, again, turned this game around real quick. Another solid performance from Canyon, and that is a pretty darn incredible LCK debut. This isn't the Gen.G, the defending champs from 2017 anymore, but they're still a solid roster and one of the staple names in the LCK. So great first set for Damwon.
Absolutely. Full expectations for Gen.G to be a playoff caliber team. So for Damwon Gaming to step up here on opening day, pick up their debut victory 2-0 over them. And again, in pretty dominating, controlled fashion, especially in the macro sense of the gameplay. Normally don't see that from young teams like this, stepping up right away and controlling the map against the likes of a Gen.G was fantastic. A really great debut from Damwon Gaming. Let's get ready to see more of them this year.
Yeah, we had both those squads at 5 and 6 on our preseason power rankings, but Damwon clearly the better team, at least in week 1, which means the hype train is full speed ahead for the rest of the LCK.